Okay, so currently they're putting a little tape over my eyelashes right now, everybody. This is so my eyelashes don't get in the way. And then you see that metal thing going in? That's the clamps to keep my right eye open. And here it goes. There they are. You can see the clamps kind of pushing my eyelids open. The reason they do this is so I don't close my eyes when the laser's going. You'll notice there's a little targeting system. That's the laser looking at my eyeball. It's pretty gnarly. So what basically happens is I got a front wave PRK versus the LASIK eye surgery. The difference between the two is LASIK, they actually cut into your eye and open it up and fix your cornea from the middle. Whereas with the front wave PRK, they actually remove the front membrane of your eye, fix your cornea from the front. The reason I did this was because since I'm so young, I'm only 22, if something happens, they can always go back into my eye, refix it. Whereas with LASIK, since they cut into the eye, they can't go back in later on. So right now they put a little wand in, and that goo they're putting on my eye is an acid. So you can actually see it kind of eating away at my membrane. And that wand is there so that way the acid doesn't spill over. It's pretty cool. Like, one thing is, you're totally awake when this whole thing happens. And the doctor keeps like telling me, look at the light, Michael, look at the light. It's pretty funny. Right now, you know, the camera's on the doctor's forehead, so it's a little bit off. The next eye is a little bit better. But yeah, so there's the, you know, the acid. You can see it kind of made a bubble almost because it kind of ate away at that. Right now they're going to bring a sponge in and wipe up all the acid. Up there's the sponge, I told you. So yeah, so they're going to wipe it up, and then what happens is they take away that little wand thing. Basically, when I describe this to people, which you guys are obviously hearing now, the way I describe it is like one of those little wands you use when you're a little kid and you're blowing bubbles. That's pretty much it. So there it is. You can see he left a marker on my eye. They're cleaning it off, you know, with the acid. It's already been kind of removed part of my membrane. What they're going to do right now is they're going to take a knife and actually cut around my eye, following the little line. Let's take a look. Come on, where's the knife at? Oh, there it is. Okay, so now he takes the knife and he cuts around. He's actually really good at it. Look at that. It's really smooth, really quick. And then he's got this little like metal spatula type thing. And look, he's scraping the edge. Think of my eyeball now since it got played with acid. Think of it as like burnt cheese. And so he's scraping off my eye, which is kind of like the grill, I guess you'd say. And you can see it's like he's actually taking the front membrane of my eye off. There it goes. And this is the weirdest sensation because, again, I'm totally awake. I can see everything. And as he pulls this membrane away, you'd be surprised. It's totally like you're seeing everything through a filter. It's pretty amazing. Like when it moved away, I was just like, wow, everything is so not necessarily clearer because I'm still, I was like, really, I can't see. That's why I was getting the surgery. But it was pretty amazing in the sense that like it was like taking a dirty glass or a lens off your eye. And it's just like, wow, look how sharp everything is. Everything was a little bit more vibrant, a little bit, maybe saturated or something. It's pretty awesome. Okay, so now they're going to use the laser, and actually you see the little white flashes. That's the laser going. It was doing this clicking sound. If you pay close attention, there's some smoke that comes up, because that's probably the worst part about it. Is since you're completely awake, you hear the thing, and there's some of the smoke. You can smell your eye actually burning. So that was really, really kind of creepy. I was just like, wow, my eye is burning. And I have a thing where I couldn't let people touch my eyes, yet I was there squeezing the living daylights out of my hand. I was freaking out, and I'm just like, okay, stare at the light, stare at the light. You'll notice that everything kind of turned white in the center of my eyes because the laser's burning. That's where smoke's coming up, and it's because they're actually reshaping my cornea from there. I was totally freaked out. But yeah, so that's my right eye. I would put my left eye on, but I don't think I'm going to go ahead and I'm getting yelled at here to not narrate my left eye. But basically, this procedure is the same thing on the left eye. I'm going to include it, but there'll be no audio or sound effects or anything like that. Right now, they just put a little contact in there and cleaned it. It's a medical contact. And what they're going to do is they're going to clean it up, and then they're going to put another contact on top of it. So that way it's just completely covered up. So you notice the edges of my eye, how it's been cut open and stuff like that. They're going to put basically it's like a band-aid, but it's a big, thick contact over the whole thing, and that's what they call the eye medical bandage. It was cool. I wore that for a week, and it was just really kind of a pain. Like, I wore contacts my whole, since I was like 12, so a little bit more than 10 years. And when the contact finally came out, I was all excited. I was going, "Hey guys, I'll be able to see," because that was the hardest part. But no, when it came out, it was kind of like when you pull a Band-Aid off, it felt like sand in my eyes. But the thing is, it didn't really feel like sand. Like, it didn't hurt, but it felt like sand in my eyes. It's like when you go to the dentist and they clean your teeth and you have this really weird sensation on your teeth, but after a day or two, your teeth feel normal again. That was the same thing when they actually took the contact off my eye, which I think they're putting in right now. You'll notice that, like, it was this weird sensation. It was like the membrane had grown back. It was just really, really weird. Okay, so here's the medical contact. There it is. And you'll notice it goes well over where he made the cut. It's actually a pretty big contact. It's pretty amazing. And they're going to take the little, tape off my eye right now. Oh, there they goes. They pulled the little clamps out. And now they're pulling the tape off my wonderful eyelashes. There we go. And I'm like, wow, in pain a little bit. I'm totally awake. And then they go to proceed and do the second eye. I'm not going to narrate the second eye because it's pretty much the same. The benefits of the second eye is you'll actually get to notice a little bit more of the smoke if you want to continue on. But by all means, this is a front wave PRK. Dr. Berg was pretty awesome. I was healed pretty quickly. So yeah, that was my eye surgery. And I told you guys I'd put it up.